Hey, I'm Matt. This is Let's Talk Music, your rockmusicandmore.com. I'm here with Bobby Amaru
It.
of Saliva. How we doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Just hanging out, just hanging.
So you mentioned before we started recording that you're at a concert with your daughter. Is it like something of hers, or are you just taking her to a concert?
No, we're seeing Bad Flower, the band Bad Flower.
Oh, okay. I know Bad Flower.
Yeah, yeah.
So
She likes them.
that's cool. And how was your daughter?
I listen to some of their stuff. It's great.
Yeah. How's your daughter?
She's going to be 11 in July.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's 10. So
Yeah.
we're rocking, man.
I just actually took not too long ago my 16-year-old to Tesla.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, introduced her to some old school, and she
Right.
dug it.
That's good, man. Yeah, they're a good band.
So let's get into the new single, Revelation Man.
Mhm.
Uh, Listened to it, loved it. Um, it's got a great vibe to it. Tell me more about it, please.
Yeah, it's just about a guy that just battled with like sobriety and or battle or with addictions really, and had to basically fall flat on his face to see the light. Um, and in Revelation Man, it kind of it's one of those things that I relate with because of my sobriety of 3.5 years and just going dealing with stuff, and just trying to break the habits and um, and I think a lot of songs on this record will reflect things that I went through and how to overcome them. And, I think it's like, hopefully people, they relate to it, when they hear songs like that and they, find a meaning for themselves.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. I mean, music touches people in a lot of different ways. I think if some just listen to the beat and others listen to the lyrics. I mean, so I think something like that reaches out to somebody and might change some lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I
That's,
mean,
that, that's the whole idea, man. I mean, if that happens, that's great. So,
and yeah, I mean, and that's got to be as an artist, that's got to be a good feeling, is that hey, some people change because of my my lyrics.
yeah. Yeah.
So what did you where was you at before you was with Saliva? I mean, was you with another band or
Um, I was with a band called Burn Season, like early on, like 2000, 2001. We had to deal with Elektra, and then it just didn't really pan out. Like they started going through like a change. We did our record and everything, and then they like fired the VP and then fired the R&R guy. And, when they bring in new people, they want to go with new stuff that they find. So there wasn't really room for us. And, which was fine. It's kind of a stepping stone, in life, you learn a lot and you go through that process and you just like rebuild, you figure it out. And I did some other stuff. I started doing like some solo stuff. I've got probably 500 songs that nobody's heard,
oh really?
Yeah, I got a lot of songs, man. I'm thinking about, I might start releasing some stuff, but, a lot of material, a lot of stuff I did and just kind of did that whole thing and, toyed with labels and stuff and nothing that really actually, broke ground. And then I started doing like some TV music where I was like doing placements and, just kind of writing songs for like TV shows and stuff. And I was doing that quite a bit. And then I got the call about Saliva and, yeah, it was interesting. It definitely, it was as simple as a phone call, hey, heard some of your stuff and, thought, just seeing if you want to jam with us.
Nice. So have
Yeah.
you ever approached a band with some of your solo material about maybe making that, into a Saliva song or maybe something on a new album or whatever?
Yeah, there's songs on the Love Lies and Therapy record are songs from my solo stuff, and 10 Lives probably has a couple too. And I always somehow revisit some of those songs and, let Wayne hear them or whatever, or the guys, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, that's it. Let's roll with that. If it seems like it fits. Like on this new record though, we kind of wrote everything. There's not really anything old. I would say. I mean, actually, some of the songs are 2 years old though, because we started writing when the pandemic stuff started. But most of the stuff on this catalog will be fresh.
Yeah, I know that when Shauna sent me the press release, it said that was your guys' first, new music in 4 years. So I'm assuming that the pandemic had a lot to do with that. And then, I mean, just other holdups, I'm sure.
We went through some changes and went through some things too, with just trying to just grow as, not just a band, but learn a little bit about ourselves as well, and then the business, and build our business. We just had too many people involved that were taking advantage of us. You know what I mean? Like managers that were like stealing money, and they just weren't really, they were just kind of like kissing your ass the whole time.
Right.
It wasn't really. So we had to kind of take a step back after that release and just say, we want to pretty much build this brand and build this business back up, and, not let anybody take any sort of control that don't need to be, that aren't involved. So, and I would say that time flies. So here we are 4 years later, and it's like, wow, okay, we haven't released a record in 4 years. So yeah, that's a long time.
So are you guys currently with a label, or are you independent?
Yeah. So we have this thing that we have with like Megaforce Records and Orchard, which is great. I mean, it's just a simple deal that we have, to where you're not signing your life away, and you're able to get your music out there to the people who, are fans of the band. So
now, I read something that was kind of funny, because I mean, I can see a little bit of resemblance, but I read something where you commented that a lot of people come up to you and assume that you're Josie Scott. Right. And you're like, no, I'm not him, So, I mean, does that get frustrating to you, or is it just kind of, you blow it off?
Oh, because I just don't think people know. I mean, some people know, but like a lot of people, they lived their lives, and, they raising families, and they don't have time to know what Saliva's doing every day of their life. So a lot of times that I'll see people that haven't seen the band in 10 years.
Right.
So that it's like that, where like, they just assume, they don't, maybe they only saw the band 300 yards away before too, to where they don't really, they're not really sure. Or they're not like, so who's in the band before we go to the concert? They just know that they want to go have a good time.
Right. So, I mean, I actually remember when Saliva came out, and, so I also remember the story of Josie leaving for, a solo career. And I remember, when you started, actually, when I think of Saliva, it kind of cracks me up. Years ago, I dated this girl, and she was more into like pop music. So I was taking her to work one morning, and I turned on the radio, and Saliva was playing. I want to say it was, can't remember what song for sure, but she changed it to her pop station. I was like, what are you doing? That's Saliva. And she said, if you want Saliva, I'll spit on you. I was like, oh, hell no. So, I mean, I've been a fan of the band for, quite a few years. Like I said, I remember when you guys started. So tour plans, are you guys gearing up for that? I know I seen that you're playing in Chicago in September, and then you're heading off to, across the pond in Germany and stuff. But what's before Chicago?
Well, I mean, we got a lot of dates. We're about to release a bunch of dates. We're releasing dates next week. So there's a bunch, like all of June is filled. We have shows this weekend, then not really much in May. And then all of June is filled. And then we got a good bit in July. August, all of August is filled. So we'll be touring. We're going to put out another single too. And then the record will come out late summer. And we're just going to support that, man. Do the cycle and see how that goes.
Are you guys hitting Columbus, Ohio at all?
Probably, I imagine at some point. Is that the King of Clubs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great venue. I like that place. Love that place.
Yeah. That place, that used to actually be an old nightclub called Yucatan Liquor Stand. And it shut down for years, and these guys bought it, and they've turned it into an amazing venue. Yeah,
he's a good dude, man. You can tell he really cares about live music. So those are you got to support him, man. Those are the places that, it's very rare you find people that are that into, wanting to have a live music room. So when you do, you got to support him.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's actually doing a contest right now where he's giving away free admission for a year to somebody.
Wow.
And just recently they gave away a brand new Jackson guitar. So, I mean, I love what they do up there. And I've been there for a couple bands, done a couple interviews there. The green room is pretty nice. The venue's great. The food's good. I mean, it's all around, a nice place. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are coming there, shit, I'd love to hook up with a live interview, I mean, things permitting.
I'll do one with you, and I won't have this spotlight in my face.
Oh man, you're all right. Like I said, stuff happens. So what's kind of having a brain fart here. So was it a big transition for you to come in, and when you started with the band, or did you just fit right in?
Well, it just took a minute. I didn't really know them. They didn't know me. You just kind of feel it out, see how it works. And it just kind of, you keep, as the years go on, and it just keeps working. You get along. Things seem to be, cool. There's no egos. It's I think that's the way bands are supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Egos really destroy a lot of bands.
Yeah, and that's really what it boils down to, is that if you're going to go tour in a band with 3, 4, or 5 guys, make sure that you can live with them and you can hang out with them. Otherwise, it's not fun at all. You almost would rather bridge,
Yeah.
than to tour, with someone that you just can't be around.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my I guess you would say idols from back in the day, Skid Row and stuff like that. It's just everybody wants to see Sebastian and Skid Row again. But, I've read comments by Dave Sabo, he'd rather live dirt poor and, play music within, so, it's all.
You got to think about it, man. There's a reason.
There
is a reason. And you don't know it. I don't know it. Nobody knows it, but there's a reason. And there always is a reason. And I think there's a lot of bands, that's why it is what it is.
Right.
But you get to see Sebastian Bach. He goes and does his thing, and it's and then you get to go see Skid Row or not. And the band is happy either way.
Right.
And Saliva, it's a very similar thing. Now, finally, after 10 years, Josie's got his thing. He came out and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go do solo and going to put a tour together and all that, which is fabulous. That's great. That's what he always should have done. And you know what? All the Saliva fans, I think it's great. You being an old school Saliva fan, you should totally go. You should support them. Go see it. You know what I mean? That's it. You're supporting rock and roll in general, man. It doesn't, and then, come see Saliva or not. It's Coke or Pepsi, man. We can't we're having fun, making music, and we're grateful that we get to tour and we get to play for people who pay their hard-earned money, you know, to see us. And that's amazing feeling right there, you know. But to people that don't want to, or they decide they don't want to do it, dude, it's not a big deal, man. You know,
right.
save your money to go see Korn or someone else. It's fine. I get it.
Hey man, I tell you what, that I really I like what you said there, because you know, you consider the fans and everything in that whole spiel, and that's awesome, because I mean, there's some bands that just, you know, they come, they do their thing, they leave, the fans don't really matter. You know what I mean? And I think that's when you get so big that you've kind of I don't know. It's hard to say.
No, that's when you've lost the fun in it. You've lost the, you know what I mean? Like what it's really about, you know,
Right.
It's always about the fans. I mean, trust me, like, you don't think I know, you know, those songs, what those songs did for people. Like, you know, from the get-go, those were big songs, man. You know, Saliva did a lot of big things. You know, they played fucking WrestleMania and all these cool things that a lot of bands never got to do.
Right.
And you know, WWE is a big market that embraced them. You know, I still go to games. You know, I go to, you know, Jaguar games or Saints games, and I hear Click Click Boom in the stadium playing. That's an awesome feeling. Yeah, I didn't write it, but you know what? I'm a part of that, and I've been a part of that band for, you know, 10 years, and I sing that day in and day out. So it's like, it's great no matter how you look at it. Like it's a positive thing. And I think that, you know, it's like even Queensryche. Yeah, Queensryche, you got Jeff Tate is, dude.
Right.
You people that are Queensryche fans are seeing Jeff Tate, and the ones that are hardcore Queensryche fans are seeing Queensryche.
Right.
The ones that are just, I'd rather see Jeff Tate, that's fine. That's, you know, it's all good, man. We're just happy we get to play rock and roll.
So when you guys do play shows, I mean, do you see a good response to your new music as well as the, you know, the classics from back in the day? Or
oh yeah, I mean, well, it's all on entertainment, man. When you bring people in to the show, you got to win them over song 1 to song 13, 14, whatever it is you're doing that night.
right.
Typically, you know what I mean? You know, you want to win them over from the get-go. That's my job, is to go out there and give it all I've got, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's what I strive for. And, you know, if I don't have them, you know, by then, I know by the middle of the set I do.
Right.
You know, that's just knowing like the way you work your set and the way you work the crowd. And you don't want to just stand there. You want them to you want to give them a show. And, you know, I would say like the live shows are always fun. And by the end of it, that's when the people, you know, leave with smiles on their faces and they're happy or whatever, and
right.
hanging out at the booth with them and stuff, and just hearing them, you know, tell me stories about when they saw the band, you know, 15, 20 years ago and whatever, you know. I've heard it all. I've heard, you know, people say, oh man, I wanted to hate this, you know, but I can't, you know, and that's, dude, then I feel like I did my job.
Right. Right. Yeah. That definitely should be a good feeling. Just kind of to wrap it up. I mean, if like, I don't know, it's kind of a feeling of what you're talking about is, I mean, with people that, you know, like the original and this and that, I mean, I think sometimes somebody steps in and it just really makes things as good, if not better. Like, you know, when I listened to Revelation, man, it just sounded like, you know, old Saliva, but with a newer twist. Is that what you guys were going for, or you just kind of like, I mean,
we weren't really going for we're just trying to write a good song. I mean, that was it. It wasn't like, let's try to make it like this or make it like old school. It's just weird how it came together like that. And that's what people are saying, that it reminds them of old school Saliva, but we weren't throwing darts. It wasn't
Right.
target of what, well, we want to do. Let's make it, this part should be like that song. Or it was, we just tried to write a good song. That's all we ever
It is. It's a good song. I enjoyed it.
So yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have those flashes of like old school stuff just because you got Wayne on guitar too. You got Paul playing drums and groove, and like, so it's going to have those vibes, I think. And vocally for me, it's just me doing my thing and doing what I've always tried to do, and try to just challenge myself to write better and better and sing better and better, is that's really it. Just challenging myself to write a better song.
Well, man, I think you're doing great. Like I said, I really enjoyed the song. I'm not past Saliva, new Saliva. I don't. I just like music, and
dude, it's okay to like both.
I know. I do. I'm just saying that, I'm not like, well, I like this better or that better. I mean, I like music, and, you put out a hell of a song.
Right. I think some people are afraid to, when they're set in their ways, they're afraid to like give things a chance. You know what I mean? I mean, just think about what Sammy Hagar went through, but at least, back in those days, you had the power of labels and the power of MTV and the power of money behind things. Sammy Hagar is a freaking phenomenal singer, and still at his age, a phenomenal singer and a great fucking songwriter. And when he stepped in that band, he was already like 10 years older than everybody else.
Right.
I'm going to just have fun, man. Let's just do this and have fun. And like, this isn't about ego. This isn't about any of that stuff. And that's probably what Van Halen dealt with before that.
Oh, yeah.
So they had, and dude, I love David Lee Roth. Who doesn't? I mean, I love that era of Van Halen, but I like both.
Mm-hmm.
I love, and that's a perfect example. I love both versions of AC/DC. It's like, but, some people are like set, like, oh, no, man, I can't listen to Sammy Hagar. I listen to David Lee Roth only. It's like, dude, open your mind a little bit, man.
Right.
Right now is a smash, man. There's a lot of really great songs that Sammy Hagar and and I guarantee you they had girls lining up, at those shows, and
oh yeah,
radio and the power of MTV, kept them there. So
right.
But
one other thing I wanted to ask you about, I did an interview with Kingdom Collapse not too long ago, and we was talking about them doing Always, and how it started out kind of as just a joke, and then like you guys kind of embraced it with them. Jonathan was a really cool dude to talk to, and he thought highly of you guys. Have you guys done many shows with them?
Yeah, they were doing shows with us 2 years ago and last year, and very, very good dudes, man. I just saw them actually. Well, not just, I saw them at Rockville in last November. I was like going to see Stained side stage, and like there they were just on the I was like, whoa, what they had played that day. So but that's the last time I think I saw them. And yeah, those dudes are great, man. And there's we're also in a world where like covers are really big, and so it's like they did a cover of Always. It's like, man, you know what? That has to be just flattering for the guys, in Saliva, that the guys that wrote that song. I mean, I think that's awesome, man.
Okay. Well, Bobby, I appreciate your time, and I will let you off here so that you can go enjoy your concert with your daughter.
Cool, man.
And I will hit, when you guys release those tour dates, I'll hit Sean up and see if maybe we can't set something up live and at the King of Clubs.
Sounds good, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, buddy. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.